Hey, good morning, Facebook fans. How are you today? Well, I have another special guest. This is an author spotlight for our book, Woman Standing Strong. And if you looked at my timeline today, you saw that my 12 days of Christmas gratitude included authenticity. Now, some people may think like, why would one be grateful for authenticity? Well, you're going to find out as soon as we talk to our author here, Angela Jones-Taul, because she took a big step into being her authentic self. Actually, we all did. And she decided today that she really wanted to talk about that. She wanted to tell you how she pushed through her fears. So without further ado, Angela is a massage therapist, a registered nurse, and we've known each other for about 2 years, and we've been on this journey, this authentic journey together. So welcome, Angela. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me, Gloria.
So, Angela, you met me a little over 2 years ago, and life has never been the same, has it?
No, it hasn't. No, most
What's
definitely.
been what's been the biggest change in your life?
The biggest change for me has been stretching myself and getting over this fear of and getting out of my comfort zone. That's the biggest thing for me to realizing my authentic self.
So, we're going to celebrate your authenticity today. What does it mean to get out of your comfort zone?
It means to have freedom that I never expected to ever have. Um, just feeling alive and grateful and just energetic now and not just, feeling restless or stuck.
So, Angela, you went through a very traumatic childhood, which you talk about in the book,
Mhm.
and you had to get over a lot of fear. So, what did you do to accomplish that?
Well, I really had to dig deep and understand what was it that I wanted. I had this feeling inside of me that was stirring up and I didn't really know what that was. And I knew I wanted to change, but I really didn't know how to do it. The traditional ways of like seeking therapy and counselors really wasn't helping me with just going and just repeating myself week after week with the same complaints. And I mean, there were some parts of that was helpful, like, setting boundaries and things like that. But it wasn't getting to the root of what was deep inside of me that needed to heal. I really didn't understand that I needed to heal.
Yeah, I know a lot of us have probably can relate to this story right now. So if you're listening and you have questions for Angela or you want to drop a line down below and say, yeah, that's me too, go ahead and do that. And if you have a question, we'll come on and answer it. Okay. So yeah, Angela, healing through this journey of ours. I remember also going through this similar to you years ago, which we would do traditional types of counseling. And you're right, it gets you to a certain point because they listen to you talking and they may make some suggestions, but it wasn't until I found the person who put the mirror in front of my face. And I know you even have a book coming out, a full book besides this one that talks about that mirror. So how did you look in that mirror and begin to change?
Um, it really was it really was taking a real deep look at yourself and understanding that a lot of the complaints and problems that you actually seen in other people were actually the problems that you had deep inside yourself. And through your coaching, you helped me to see that a lot of times I was projecting and I wasn't owning up to um, my own toxicity. So I had to like take away all those masks that I was hiding behind because I had developed so many, for when I wasn't feeling this way or when I was feeling that way, there was a mask to hide all these issues that I had. So,
I think all of us could probably relate to that on some level, because I remember even working with you and other coaching clients, for me to step up and be strong enough, right? And to be authentic and truthful to another person is not easy, is it?
No, it's not. It's not at
So
all.
it's not easy to receive it. It's not easy to say it. But when we care enough, when we want to really fix each other's crowns, right?
Mhm.
When we know that someone has greater potential, and that's something, that's a gift God has given me that I'm grateful for, that I have always been able to see potential in people. And when I saw that in you, magic began to happen. So, you said you took a look at it yourself. You found out something about yourself, though. What did you find out?
I found out that I have a goddess inside of me, and she has been wanting to come out and be seen, but I was afraid to let her out.
And so you did traditional counseling, you did coaching with me,
Mhm.
you began to write about it. Did that also help you heal on this journey to bring that goddess out?
Oh, most definitely. Anytime you do any writing, you go through a healing stage, you go through hurt, you go through growth. And I think that for me was the biggest change for me, was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was still carrying on to all these emotions, and carrying that baggage along with me.
And alone, because everybody in the book that I worked with went through similar things. And even in my own story, because I also contributed and came out a little bit more with all of this, I think, and I was reading last night, I was going through some of the stories again. And I realized from the first time people wrote something, through all the different changes and edits or additions, there was a metamorphosis.
Mhm.
And your goddess, through your poetry, really began to shine. So, what made you choose poetry to put in this book, Women Standing Strong?
Um, Actually, because when you approached me about submitting to be a part of this, and I had just submitted my manuscript for my solo project, I was really kind of burnt out, and I was like, I don't want to write anymore. But you were there to help, narrow down a topic and what we wanted to write. But you also said, just be creative, poetry, what, and that just kind of struck me. And I had recently been, like, the last few chapters of my other book, I recently had been just starting out with poems to develop the story. And I thought it's easier for me to express myself in the poetry. I tend to be an overthinker, and overanalyze. So when I would write stuff, I'd go back and, no, this is no good. This is no good. But but the poetry, it just flows, and it's coming from your heart. So there's really no critiquing to that. And so it felt right for me.
Well, I'm glad you chose that venue because you're the only one that actually did your story through poetry, which makes it a nice change up. And it's also an authentic part of yourself, taking that risk, one to say, I'm going to do something different than everybody else.
Yes, and I was a little nervous about that, because I thought, well, everybody's gonna be like, why would she do that? But what I'm beginning to understand, and as my goddess emerges, is when you own your power, you are comfortable with the decisions that you make to be yourself, and expressing myself that way is who I am, and it's my creativity. And I was getting really into the comparison of some of the other women, because they got art and different things, and I'm like, I don't have that creativity, but I have my own. And I think we really need to stop trying to compare ourselves so much to others, because everybody has the creativity in them. We just sometimes we don't use it, and it's blocked deep down inside of us, but it's there to come out whenever we are ready to let it come out.
I absolutely agree. And I want to thank you for pushing past that comfort zone and getting past the fear, because I know not just you, but other people in the book, other people that I coach are always afraid to step up and do something different. And a lot of people, Angela, always say to me, but I'm not creative. you're right. Everybody has creativity
Mhm.
because creativity is a life force way of you expressing yourself. And so whether it's through comedy, poetry, singing, art, whatever it is, we all have something. We all have something. So I want to thank you, I want everybody, to give Angela a big kudos and thumbs up for coming out and being her authentic self. And how are you, I'm wondering, how are you celebrating that part of yourself now?
Um, well, I am acknowledging that I'm a part of this collaboration, because at first I was being really quiet about it. And then I just kind of thought, you collaborate, you write a book, that's all there is to it. But some things are aligning up and I'm saying yes. And so there's some conferences that we are going to be attending and participating with. And I'm also on my end here in Kentucky working on having a women's conference here. And I'm I'm just excited about all that. And if you would have asked me a year ago, 2 years, even 5 years ago, would I be doing this? I would have been like, no.
Oh, I got chills. I got chills. Well, Angela, I'm glad that you learned to say yes, because that was part of the coaching too. For those of you out there wondering, well, how's she just saying yes? She's not allowing the voice that she has in her head that she calls Esther, the victim mentality that she got out of, but she still works with, don't you? You still have
Yes,
to work with her.
yes, I do. I do.
And so when you say yes fast, do you find that she quiets down a little bit, or does she push you further?
She pushes me further. She's like, okay, smarty, now you done said yes. Now what you gonna do? But then we have to, then I'm telling her, like, we've gotten this far, who knows what's on the other side. But if we don't take that chance, then we're always going to be what ifing. And I've come to learn that what if something good and what if something bad happens, it doesn't matter, because it's all going to work out in the end.
And so for those of you who she's talking to, those are her voices in her head, the voice of doubt, the voice of fear. How many of you have that? And so Angela's been working on that and catching herself to stop those negative voices. And like she said, why not say yes? It's on the other side of the yes. And so Angela is going to be at a conference in Delaware that we're putting together for the Women Standing Strong on January 25th and 26th. And then in March, she's coming to New Jersey at a big holistic expo with the group of us that are will be on a panel discussion. So if you attend this one in New Jersey, you'll get to ask us questions and answers and learn more about this journey that we have gone through to be our authentic selves and to help you to surrender to your authentic voice too. And then, like she said, she's planning something in her church community in Kentucky for the spring. So we hope to see you there. So if you're a fan of Angela, this is always backwards. If you're a fan of Angela, you got to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Angela, you said that you would not have imagined this a couple of years ago,
No.
but I did.
Yes. You did.
I didn't know. So here's the key, people. I didn't know who was going to be a part of it, but I knew it was going to happen. And so putting out the thoughts and the energy and not the fear, right? Not the fear, and aligning yourself, with that which you're being called to do, which is what I did. It aligned, Angela as well. She's one of the amazing women as part of this. And so it came together in a way that I didn't imagine, Angela, 2 years ago, but I knew it would happen. Now you have another dream. I remember you sharing with me that you want to be on a certain TV show. Go
Yes.
claim it.
Yes, I want to be on Oprah. I want Oprah to embrace us all and see the good works that we're doing to bring women together, because it's very important now. I've just noticed, like, really took a good look at how women we don't interact very well. And so it's time for us to get past all of that mean girl hatefulness that has, accumulated over the years for us, and the jealousy and the comparison, and we're all wonderful women. I think that's one of the things with this collaboration with the 11 other women. I only really know two other of the women, and it's like we all came together, and there was none of that, none of that teeth gnawing and all that stuff that you have sometimes with just trying to have a girl group, a tribe of women. And you have to have those people who have the same um, energy as you right now, because if you do have a negative Nancy or whatever in that group, it can really deteriorate the whole group. But that's what I was really thankful for and grateful for with all of us, is we helped one another. We kept each other up. We uplifted each other, and that to me was awesome.
And you're right. It's important to surround yourself with people that have similar goals, that are going to raise you up, that are going to give you a hug, pat you on the back, massage those shoulders. It's really important. And very often, like you were saying, if Tony says, I'm right there with you, Angela, like you were saying, we often don't have that. A lot of people, have more of the competition thing going on, or they have, people that don't really stand up for us, for whatever reason, without judgment, whatever reason. And sometimes, it's just about their own insecurities too. And I think as we develop, as we go through our own personal growth, we begin to realize that they're also hurting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why bringing these women together that are celebrating their authenticity hopefully will show other women too, it's okay. It's okay to be you, because each one of us had something pretty drastic that happened in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
While it's only a short story and not a full book, but some of us have full books coming out, we are healing through that journey. And Angela just attested to that. She went through a healing process. Now, Angela, are you done?
Oh no. No, you constantly grow and you heal with each step that you take. As you stretch yourself, as you step out on faith, as you say yes to being your authentic self, more things come up. And even from writing the solo project to even doing that poetry, more things still came up. And I think that's the beauty of it, because it's peeling back the layers. So with each thing, you peel back more layers and you get deeper and deeper, so that you can heal more and radiate the light that's within you.
And that takes courage.
Yes.
It takes courage. And I witnessed that with every one of you. So now you entitled your poem Whispers from an Angel. Can you tell us why?
I have always felt that I know I have a guardian angel, and I feel like in those times when my darkest shadows, or when my dark mask wants to appear the most, that I get that whisper into my soul, and that it's like, come on, this is not what you were here for. Push on, push stronger. I've got you. And so I just thought that was a great title for my short story, because I do get whispers from an angel.
Anybody else out there? Angel? I bet that's who tells you to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that part inside is what says yes before that negative voice comes up?
Oh, most definitely. And I think that before I started on this journey, I think that the yes was there, but the voice in my answer was so loud. I did not know how to calm that voice down. And so those whispers would just kind of fade away. And it would just be like oh, well, maybe one day, type of thing. But that's just that. you know, you may not have that opportunity again. And so why not just say yes?
Exactly. You learn well, girl. Tony says it's a beautiful title, and Tony, I agree with you. You know, you don't have to believe in angels, you know, but I think if we're all true to ourselves, we all know that there's a feeling inside of us at different times that we don't understand even where it's coming from. That could be our soul, could be God, could be an angel, could be a guide, could be whatever you believe in. But when you hear that whisper, like Angela did, and like 11 other women did, then pay attention because, like Angela gave really great advice, the opportunity may not come again, and you never know where it's going to take you. And her dream, you know, is evolving right in front of you, okay? Right in front of you to go from shy, right?
Yes.
To a job you weren't happy with, right?
Right.
On antidepressants, right?
Yes.
And then you took a big risk while you were doing your coaching to leave a job that
Mm-hmm.
weekly salary. And what did you do?
I opened my own massage business. No experience.
And how's it going? It's been what, almost 2 years?
It's almost 2 years, and I stay booked, and it's a blessing. It is an amazing blessing.
And are you happier with your work now?
Oh gosh, yes, most definitely. I'm doing something that I truly enjoy, and it gives me joy. And I was looking for joy and happiness in other things, and it all had to come from within myself.
Absolutely. And Angela, now you're giving back. You're doing something with your church with a group of women. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have a local chapter here of called Celebrate Recovery, and most of the time when people hear recovery, they think that it has to do with just the chemical dependency or alcohol addictions, but it's actually for anyone with any hurt habit or hang up, and we all have hurts, habits, and hang ups. And so I am a leader for the women's mixed issue group, and so there's a lot of women in there and dealing with grief, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, codependency. And so we work the 12 steps, but we do it under a faith-based origin. And I also have a little small step study group where it's just a group of us that actually dig deeper into the steps and to kind of peel back and get us through those hurts, habits, and hangups.
Now, you think you'd be doing this a couple of years ago?
No, because when I actually saw this at my church, they were just saying they needed some like help with, you know, setting up and stuff. And I thought, oh, I can do that and just help serve food. I didn't know I was going to be a leader.
No, God did.
Yes, he did.
God
Yes,
did.
he did.
Absolutely. So let's all congratulate Angela. Tony congratulated you. Let's all congratulate Angela, even if you're coming on the replay, because she did take some huge steps in 2 years' time. And Angela, I don't know if you realize, really take it in, how big all those steps were, okay? From going from a lot of pain from your past, okay? Your self-image, right? Your job, your unhappiness, the self-medication, right? To
Right.
stepping up to a yes bigger than I think you imagined.
Yes, most definitely. I think it did kind of hit me here maybe last week when all this was getting ready to be finalized, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what? I have not taken time to really step back and look and like, you know, I'm always looking for the negative stuff. Used to look for the negative stuff. Like even when I first started the business, I was like, oh, this is probably not going to last. Just live it, you know, enjoy it while it's here because you're probably not going to, you know, last. And, you know, it was exciting what within the first 6 months that I had my business, I was voted best of the best in our little region. And I'm like, you know, and I was really still fighting some of those self-image issues, and I didn't, I didn't know those are compliments, and I didn't know how to take compliments. It was scary to take a compliment, and now it's like you earned those compliments. Own it. Be that goddess.
Yes, yes, yes. For me, watching you, because I was your coach and we still do some talks, seeing the girl that I met 2 years ago versus the woman and the goddess that is right across the screen right now is just, I don't even have the words. It's beyond amazing to see what happens when people really do start celebrating who they are, when they start owning their gifts, whatever that gift is. Okay. We all have different gifts. And to watch those layers get peeled away and for you to get stronger every day. And I know you're still going through stuff. So if you're watching her out there and you think, oh, yeah, she's got it all together, you're still going because those of us that are stepping into our authenticity are losing other things in our lives, just to let you guys know. Okay. We might lose friendships and partnerships, and we might lose our sanity sometimes for a brief moment. Right?
Right.
But we're still real. We're still human. We still have our quirks. We still have our things that we have to heal through. We still have faux pas that we make. And when we're shifting, like Angela was talking about finding your tribe, you're going to lose some people in your life, aren't you, Angela?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How does that feel?
At first it's a little scary, but you have to want to more for yourself, and you have to understand that it's nothing that you did to them, and it's nothing that you can really change, because until they're ready to accept whatever it is that they might have going on and why they can't celebrate you, then you have to let them be on their own journey. And that was a hard thing for me for a long time, to always want to fix and make everything okay for everybody else, and in turn I lost who I was. And I don't want to do that anymore, because it feels good to be my authentic self, and not feel like I have to be something that other people want me to be.
Absolutely. I celebrate you in that because I know it's not easy. And I know going through this writing of this book, there are people that are judging us by our stories, okay? Or family members that are judging us and not supporting us. And it takes a lot of courage to walk into that fire and to say, I fully own my voice, my message, my gift from God, and to keep moving forward. And again, that's why it's important. Whatever you pursue, find your tribe that supports you, that fixes your crown. So, Angela, what's in the future for you? You've got another book coming out, your solo book now, that's published by Dream Sculpt, which
Yeah.
is that's a story in of itself. Is that's a she won. I pulled her out to come to an author's workshop. She came all the way down to Florida. She said yes. She hesitated for a few months, but she said, and she won a publishing contract. How did that feel?
That was absolutely amazing, because I really did hesitate about even submitting my essay, because I thought I'm not a writer. I mean, this is a foolish dream, and I'm going up against people who have written, who have been doing creative writing. I'm not that person, but I did it anyway. I was like, never hurts to try, and I'm telling you, I think I still have the call saved where Jared called and was like, you won. And I'm like, what? No, you mean I won, really? And just the tears that came it was because I could not believe that this was happening for me. It was like one of those moments like, what does this mean now? Oh, I got to write a book.
And it wasn't easy, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was not easy, but again, aligning yourself up with people that are there to help you, um, even with Dream Sculpt, the people involved in that were helping me. The mastermind group that I'm in with you and your coaching helped me out tremendously in getting over those days when those hurt, when the hurt that I hadn't, the healing that I hadn't done from those hurtful things came up and like smacked me in the face. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I haven't really dealt with this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
And I think a lot of people found that in writing their stories. They thought they had dealt with it. And they thought they were healed or over it. And I know with the ones that did some private coaching with me, their stories changed pretty much a lot entirely for one or two because of the healing process that happened. But I want to bring to everybody's attention something really important that Angela just said. She said, but I'm not a writer. You don't have to be a writer to
right.
write a book. You have to have support in writing your book. So if you have a thought, which we all do, there's words in your head. If you have an idea, if you can speak to another person about your dreams, about your life experiences, guess what? Somebody can help you write your story. And that is one of the things that I did with many of these women. I helped them create through suggestions, like with Angela. Well, hey, yeah, do the poetry, right? Through others that were writing just factual accounts like the journal, which really is not writing a story, but it's writing. But then you have people that help you with that. You have coaches, you have editors, you have people that say, let's take this.
Ooh.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, I didn't know there was your
internet first. Where did we go? That's the internet. So Powerful Potential and Purpose is a publishing company that myself and my partner who lives in Washington State, she's our amazing graphic designer. She is creative, is intuitive. She also is a huge part of this that made this book happen, Women Standing Strong Together, which releases on December 29th. Even though we have our Kindle version that it can be pre-ordered, the print copy doesn't come out until the 29th. But her creativity and my creativity put together created a powerful team with other people that were proofreaders. And let me tell you, Angela, I'm not an editor. And you know what? I'm really glad for people out there that can see all those fine details. Mm-hmm. And it was really funny because although I read the stories gazillions of times and did see things, I got the proof about a week ago where Candy and I, she's a graphic designer, went through it again with proofreaders. And we still found more, even in the actual proof book, which I have with me right now. I think it's beside my bed because I was reading some of the stories last night. So then we had to make those corrections. So it's just like life. There's always another piece that you'll find that needs a little correction or redirection. And so then she took it, she put it in another manuscript for me to see, and I printed it out. And guess what, Angela? I found more. And I had to laugh because it reminded me of that meme that you see passed around on Facebook where everything is spelled wrong. It says, if you're a genius, if you could read this. So I'm hoping all the geniuses out there that read this can understand that if we still had a faux pas in there, you hear it anyway when it was supposed to be read. Because I got to tell you, we literally, just like in life, Angela, went through it over and over, peeled away layers, made adjustments, kept moving forward because it could be discouraging too. But we all did it together, and that's what's amazing.
Right.
So we did have women from all walks of life, from all different states, standing strong, supporting each other, and now are excited for Angela's story coming out, Whispers from an Angel. You got to read her poetry, her review. What did you think when you got some of those reviews coming in? How did that feel?
That felt amazing that my poems really touched everyone. And I think it was funny because I think someone said, you wrote that? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And they're like, I didn't know you did that. I said, I didn't know I did either. But it was just amazing to actually see that people could relate to what I put in the words, and that it touched them, because that was the ultimate goal, is that you can feel what I put in my poetry, and it came across that way, and I'm so very pleased and happy with that.
Yeah, so we want to put a big thank you out there to our book ambassadors. They were the individuals that got a sneak peek of the manuscript before all the corrections and all the rewrites, but they still found the beauty and the essence in these stories. And I remember when Angela got her first one, just even through the internet, Angela, I could feel your energy, your emotion bubbling up when you were expressing to people, your gratitude. So it is an amazing process, because we never know if people are going to accept us in life, right? In
Right.
becoming more authentic. And I think that's what holds a lot of people back. Would you agree? We don't
Oh,
know if we'll be accepted.
right, most definitely. And then I would also add, for anybody who is out there, like, really considering to use power for potential purpose to help you write your book and publish your book, don't let the constructive criticism keep you and upset you. That is one of the things that I learned, that you have to kind of like see things from different perspectives. And once you take that, because I think that's part of fear also. So I think once you get past that and you're looking at it and you're thinking, oh, okay, I see what you're saying now. And you don't get so defensive about what someone said about, I understand you put your heart into that and what you said, but let's look at it from a different perspective. And then you're like, oh, okay. And you don't put that fear of, well, you're just picking on me, you don't like my work, type of mentality. And it's amazing what will unfold when you open yourself up to that. And that might be your fear, is like, well, I don't want someone picking apart what I put, but it's not picking apart, it's to help you, it's to open up more for you.
And that's a big part of it. And Nanette, who is also one of our authors, she wrote a testimony talking about it being, the stories, the diamond in the rough. And all our editors, proofreaders, myself, Candy, other people, there's a whole bunch of people in the background you guys don't even know about. She said, we polished that diamond. And I remember when we first had our meeting, all of us, and I said, 40 years ago, I published my first big short story in a magazine. I was so proud of it, Angela. I thought, man, I got this. And the editor got it, and she got me on the phone, and we went over it, and she went through it with a real fine tooth comb. And my ego was like, but it's so good. Like, how could you think about me? But she made it better. And she taught me something. I'm going to put this out there to everybody that wants to write. Speak from your heart. Don't worry about all the grammar. We got people to fix that. Okay. Be authentic, be yourself, celebrate your authenticity. And like Angela said, people are going to help you fine tune it or polish that diamond. There is going to be things, if you're not open to it, I'm going to tell you something, you're not going to have the best read story out there, the best read book. So I know I had to get over that 40 years ago. And to this day, I remember that phone call. And I remember that feeling. I'm not good enough. You know what? I got better because the people that cared. And that's what we all do here at Powerful Potential and Publishing. We provide a personal touch. We really do care. Candy and I have put an excessive amount of hours behind this that I don't think a lot of people would have done to the capacity we have done. We have even helped people on the phone, hold their hands, listen to their tears, listen to their frustrations and their feelings of, I can't do better. So, Angela, I want to thank you for being a part of Women Standing Strong Together. I want you to really celebrate yourself in a very special way. Okay? I want you to believe in yourself more and more each day, because watching the goddess emerge is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
want you to remember the day that you came down to Florida and you stayed with me and Deborah, and we were going to the author's workshop. Who were you on that day? Who was that girl? I remember picking her up. I remember seeing a girl a girl. See what I said? A girl, not the goddess woman. I remember seeing a girl who was somewhat excited but terrified. I remember you sitting in the author's workshop when we were asked to get up and share our story, and you looked at me and said, "Oh no, I am not telling my story." But when you did, you got amazing feedback, didn't you?
I did. I definitely did. And it was said there that the writing I did was poetic, and they could see um, goddess cards, or they could see a calendar or something with my writing, on there, because it stirred something inside of them.
Yeah. And so when you heard them talk about all the goddess stuff, what did that feel like inside for you? Did you finally relate and connect it?
I really did. I mean, I kind of toyed around the whole goddess thing, but I don't think I really embraced it truly, and got to the root, got deep inside exactly what that meant to me until after that workshop. And then the more I allow it to emerge from deep within me, the more the woman comes out, the more her light shines, and the more I don't feel like I have to hide.
So we are here today celebrating authenticity and powerful potential and purpose is publishing Women Standing Strong Together. And Angela is one of our amazing authors who's been on quite a healing journey. And she has graciously shared with us a little bit of her journey and what she's going to share in that book with her poetry. It's going to touch your heart. It might even make you cry or pull on tug on the heart. And it most definitely will inspire and encourage you. All the stories in there, wrote. We have stories from all different walks of life, women from all over the place, and even some that have a similar background. The way their story unfolds is different. And that's pretty amazing that we all go through a healing journey in different ways. So, Angela, do you have any last words for our audience today?
Just step into saying yes, own your own inner goddess, let her bloom, let her shine. That restlessness that you might be feeling, that's there for a reason. So start looking into that. And I'm just grateful to be here. And I thank everyone for their support and their future support in anything that I do.
Angela, if they want to get in touch with you, do you have a website or email?
I have an email, and you can reach me at angelashines@yahoo.com.
Okay, I'm going to put this up here and you let me know if I typed it correctly.
Yes.
Angela at yahoo.com. So if you want to talk to Angela, or if you want to congratulate her, if you want to poke at her brain about habits and hurts and what she's doing, you can go email her at angelashines@yahoo.com, and be sure to purchase her story, her book, In Women Standing Strong, coming out soon. And come on up to, let's see, Delaware, New Jersey, and Kentucky to see her and other women standing strong together on stage. Angela, thank you again. This journey with you really, really has just been so beautiful. And it makes my heart really just melt for everything that I've witnessed in your growth. I can only imagine what the next 2 years is going to bring you and where you're going to go. And I hope that you take me the next time.
Exactly.
Deborah says, congratulations. Thank you
Thank you.
for being here and everyone that is on. If you have a question for Angela or myself, drop a line down below. We'll be happy to come back and look at it later on and answer anything that you have. So God bless you all. Be your authentic self, and remember to celebrate you today. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.